Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to the My Amazon Guy live Q&A this Friday. My name is Noah Wickham, I'm brand director here at My Amazon Guy, and I am here to answer every question you can possibly throw at me, whether Amazon related, agency related, e-commerce. Throw them all into the chat now, and we will get to them. So, first up today, we have, let's see, Megan. Megan, how do direct link sales affect the Amazon algorithm? Well, a few different ways. So, for those that don't know, she's simply stating for any link to any item on Amazon. So, if I were to just click any link here, and I'll just share my screen real quick. If I were to go ahead and take the actual URL for, let's say, one of these products here and send it, how would that actually affect the algorithm? Well, the reality is that it's going to affect it essentially as a consideration of outside sales. So Amazon does track to see if people are outside or inside sales on the platform, not on the platform. What I would typically recommend for you, Megan, instead of just doing direct link, I would do attribution links so you can actually track it in real time. But from an idea of how it affects the Amazon algorithm, it's about the same. Amazon does like to have outside traffic being pushed onto the site. They do reward that through things like brand referral bonus. But from an algorithm perspective, it's about seen as the same as an actual sale. That's why, use attribution links and use the brand referral bonus when you can, rather than just linking direct to the product. But great question overall. Hopping past, let's head over. Is premium A+ content available for Amazon vendor sellers the same way it is available for Amazon FBA sellers? So yes, the way that you get premium A+ content is, I believe right now the current metrics are that you have to have 15 different A+ contents that you have uploaded over the course of 12 months. So the best way to go about this is essentially going through just giving any type of A+. So just minor little tweaks to your A+. Over the course of a year, do 15 different edits, and you should get access to the premium A+ ability. Secondarily, that I also believe you have to have a brand story on every single one of your listings. That will also be one of the requirements in there with that 15 edits. So easiest way to get access to that premium A+ is absolutely going to be to just add tiny little edits here and there over the course of a year. Eventually, you'll get open access to it. It does, yes, have to be FBA as well. Let's see. Salmon, what about a campaign that is performing great just for a month ago, and suddenly the ACOS shoot up 100% since no any change has been made to the listing or keywords or bids or placements? Just nothing. Couple of reasons this could happen. Typically speaking, it could just be that your product is not really hitting the same way it was. So, for instance, if you're getting a lot more impressions in a certain area, if you're starting to, think that you're having a good ACOS, or even that you have relevant keywords, you can kind of get tricked when a campaign is first created, because it might, have a little trickle effect, and then it starts actually hitting on that keyword, but it's not super relevant to it. So what I typically look at, especially for a month like July, when you have like Prime Day, things like that, that you have to consider, they're going to have, major increases in ACOS overall, is I would typically look at and just kind of make sure that the keywords you've specifically chosen for the campaign actually are still, one, relevant to your product. I'm guessing they are if it's been a long-standing performing campaign. And then secondarily to that, check to see if there have been any changes in your overall ranking. So are you having a suppressed listing? Is your featured offer gone? These are the type of things that can massively affect conversion rate. And that's what it sounds like you have an issue with, is not so much your click-through rate. Sounds like your click-through rate has been phenomenal for it, which is good. Usually means you have a good main image and you're pretty relevant, but I would be concerned what your actual conversion rate is. And more than likely, it usually comes down to a featured offer issue. Let's see. We have stories behind millions made. CTR is 0.75. CTR is 0.77. Conversion is 17.2, but ACOS is 64% and tacos 33. Not profitable. How to lower ACOS. So I would be more concerned about from your standpoint here of having your click through 0.75. Okay, cool. Your conversion 0.77. Okay. Your conversion is 17.25. I would be more concerned with your tacos. So part of the thing with your ACOS being so high is that, you are very much driving the majority of your sales via your overall ACOS. The best way to lower your ACOS right now, just lower your bids. Genuinely, that's going to be the best thing. That will lower both your ACOS and your tacos at the same time. The issue is they are more than likely going to be not getting as many sales anymore. So what I typically am going to recommend in a situation like this, rather than just, across the board, lower all your bids, take a look at where your top spending campaigns are and see if you can trim anywhere. So what I essentially mean by that is that see if there are specific keywords, go into Helium, check for your keyword rankings, and see if there's any that you have already gotten a pretty decent organic ranking on that you can just kind of start trimming out from your overall ad strategy. So if you go in and essentially see, oh, I'm now ranked, let's say 50 or 30 on a certain keyword, and you're also spending a lot on that keyword, just try and see if you can take that out and how much of an effect, or downbid it at the very least, and see how much of an effect it really has on overall sales and conversion. Secondarily to that, it sounds like your click-through rate could use a little bit of help there. I would do a main image update as well, just to make your product more appealing, make sure it looks good. Conversion, I mean, that's actually a really, really good conversion rate, for especially what your click-through rate is. So I'm not too worried there. But yeah, that's what I would probably focus on your click-through, because that's going to help you overall in this entire scenario. But then secondarily, make sure where your ranking is and kind of pull back on it. Let's see. Micah, we followed the MAG SOP for changing our brand name on a product. Nice. We are the brand registered owners, submitted package photos with the UPC and brand name. UPC is registered to new brand in GS1, and we submitted a link to manufacturer website. Okay. They rejected our request, saying that we cannot rebrand a product, must create a new ASIN. What do we do from here? You redo it. It sounds silly, Micah, but the reality is that we work with tons of different brands that change brand names all the time. There are clients that come to us, and that's the entire thing they want for their catalogs. Everything to change brand name. When it comes to that, I will say, it's not a one and done process by any means, whether you go by MAG SOP or anything I have given advice on before on the show. Is definitely a process that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And what I mean by that is that you can submit 10, 20 times for one ASIN, and they deny it the first 19, and then the 20th, they're like, okay, fine. Yeah, you make sense here. That's honestly the best way to go about it. Secondarily to that, I would also maybe do kind of what they're saying, where, with the new UPC and everything, add it to another ASIN and then do a merge into it. And that can sometimes help you, but more often than not, you really just have to kind of keep going and submit another case and hope for a different result. Every single one of the brand registry support agents is going to be different. But again, having done this on thousands of ASINs at this point in time, I can tell you the fastest it ever happened, one case. The longest it's ever taken is hundreds of cases for one ASIN. So it's unfortunate, but that is kind of how you have to go about it. The process itself is solid most of the time. I should say it is not hundreds. It is usually only a few cases, but there are those tricky scenarios where it is a little bit more. It also depends on how long you've really been selling the product for on the one brand. That has a lot to do with it as well. Let's see. If the product's most selling variations got out of stock for a few weeks, 2 or 3, what should be the best action we take for PPC to save money? Where we are spending hundreds of dollars every day. So if if the variation is out of stock for a few weeks, you're not spending money on the variation during that time. So Amazon stops running ads when you run out of stock. That's just a thing that they do. They automatically do that. You won't spend money on advertising on something that is out of stock if it's like truly fully out of stock, like inactive, out of stock. That being said, if you're saying essentially you went out of stock and now you're back in stock and you're trying to figure out how to save money on PPC, I wouldn't worry so much about that. I'd worry about getting your BSR back. If you're spending hundreds of dollars every day trying to get that BSR back, that's usually a worthwhile investment. The big thing is it's kind of just restarting from zero and from scratch. That's why going out of stock is one of the number one things you really shouldn't do on the platform. Overall, though, I mean, the big thing just comes down to pulling back, right? If you're spending too much, okay, that means that you're overextending yourself on certain keywords. You should really be reining it back into your primary hero keywords, regaining traction on those keywords and BSR, and then go from there and expand to more long tail keywords. You can't have the exact same strategy you have when you are rank 10 as you did when you were rank 100 or 1000 or so on and so forth. Marnie, can target my own products. So my other variations are the ones showing below my own product page and not the competitor. Yeah. So this is actually really common. This is called self-targeting. I can actually maybe pull up a self-targeting campaign just to show you what it looks like. Let me see real quick, Marnie. Let's do this. Here we go. All right. So let me pull up one of these campaigns just so you understand it a little bit more. So essentially, if I'm sharing this tab here, and I'll zoom in just a little bit for you. So this is just SP ASIN self campaign for a parent product that we have here. So if I just click into this campaign, you can kind of see how we do our targeting. So we have all of our ads, and it's just all the products that we want to. A lot of these are ineligible because they're not being sold. But if we just look at the targeting here, it's exactly what you're talking about. You take the ASIN itself and you are targeting on that ASIN. This is, again, called a self campaign. The point of a self campaign is to stop competitors from targeting on your products. I am a huge believer in self campaigns. If you have any form of search volume and you have competitors on your product or competitors in your market, they usually can sit at a fairly low ACoS. From what I have found, you usually get primary bidding rights on it. It's not primary bidding rights, but more so you will have a more advantageous bid than a lot of your competitors on it. I'm a huge proponent of it. Do it also for like product pages, and then also for your, this is for ASIN specific. Do it also, I should say, for keyword specific. So when you have like your own keyword, like, this one, Aegis Age, has some search volume to it. Add some self-targeting for your specific brand name, for any of your own keywords, anything like that. Great question. Burn. Regarding premium A+ content, I have a brand registry. All branded ASINs have a brand story, and I have 20 content submissions approved since 15th July, but still no premium A+ content. Any advice? Reach out to Seller Support on. That's some best advice you can do in this scenario. You're supposed to get instant access to premium A+ content, but they don't always give it immediately. Usually you have to go through the aspect of actually requesting it. So if you are having some issues, and I think there's a specific section, I can't find it right now. I'll try and make a video a little bit later today on it, but there's a specific section in your actual current A pluses that you can actually request to put the premium aspect. It doesn't look like this account has it. Oh, because they already have premium A+ enabled. So yeah, I would submit a ticket, Burn, to Seller Support to request access and show them that you already have all of the necessary requirements for it. It's not something that all the time people just immediately get access to, or even that they know they have access to. because Amazon's really bad about kind of alerting you to stuff like that. A product's conversion rate is high at top of page placement at good ACoS. Cool. When I adjusted the bid accordingly to spend more for top placement, the ACoS shot badly and conversion dropped. Okay, so that sounds like I'd be confused if you already had high top, good conversion rate at high top page placement at good ACoS. Why would you increase the placement for top of search? So what you essentially did there is you're saying you had a good bid, you had top of search already, you had good conversion rate at it, and so instead you chose to increase the percentage, and again, it's the percentage of the bid for top of search. So essentially, you just added a multiplier onto your bid for top of search when you already had good ACoS there. So for that scenario, if you have good placement in one of the three product pages, top of search or rest of search, and you are trying to increase conversion, you should not add a multiplier to that section. That will do nothing for you if you are already doing well from a bid perspective. The only thing that will do is essentially increase your bid drastically for no reason. You're essentially auto-inflating for the same exact results you are getting. You can only pay so much for a bid. You should use placements to essentially try and have your hit a certain place that's not hitting. So let's say, for instance, you wanted to take that same campaign, get some more stuff on product pages. You would increase product pages, but you don't want to do it in the place that you're already getting a ton of conversion on it. Second part to the question there, I changed the placement percentage, show up my product higher, which was performing great in the same campaign. After this change, impressions drop down. There's no traffic on my listing. That sounds like a featured offer issue. I would check that. Sounds like you might be suspended. Secondarily to that as well, you may also just be getting outbid at this point. I would check your competitors to see if they have started to do that. An easy way to check to see if that's the case is change your actual bid. So change to see if your bid is just too low now, and that's why you're not getting any form of impressions. And if that's the case, guess what? Your competitors are now paying way more, and so do you. Secondarily, check the search volume of the keyword you're going after and see, hey, is there actually any search volume going on for it? If you want to check on our YouTube page, I posted a video this week talking about reasons for impressions just being zero or super, super low. And I think that video would help you a ton in this scenario. I basically troubleshoot all of the different things and walk you through how to fix it. Rosina, happy Friday. Glad to see you here. Fernando, hi from Spain. Hello, Fernando. That's awesome. Love to see that. Marnie, again, can I target my own product using PPC? Yeah, I think I already answered this one. Yeah, when I scroll down my page and not the competitor. Yeah, so again, same thing, Marnie, just self-targeting campaigns. Love those. Keep doing them. And then you ask, if yes, do I just create a product targeting campaign with all my variation ASINs? Yes, exactly that. So do that. And then secondarily to that, if you have any keywords with search volume of any amount whatsoever, create campaigns for those. And I should say branded keywords. All right, let me get some water. If my compactor is selling at $60 with 8,000 reviews, wow, nice, 4.6 rating. I'm with 4.2 and 60 reviews. What should my pricing strategy and the PPC strategy be at this stage? The best thing to be looking at right now, if you have a product of any kind that has 8,000 reviews and a 4.6 rating, right? That to me says you have a lot of reviews, you get a lot of sales on it. Your PPC strategy should essentially look like nothing more than just keeping where you're at. I mean, if you're looking to grow, fantastic. Try and keep growing. But sounds like you have a winning product. I wouldn't mess with it too much. A lot of self-targeting campaigns have a regular keyword to negative keyword ratio of 1 to 2. So for every one keyword you have, you should have 2 negative keywords at this time in nearly every single one of your campaigns. It is rare to me that a long-standing product and brand, how often I go into a campaign and they just don't even have negative targeting. And that's just wasting money. If you've been selling on Amazon for a couple of years and you see a campaign that doesn't have any negative targeting, it's like, why? So 1 to 2 ratio for kind of long standing and just consistent growth. I mean, honestly, even getting up to a 1 to 3 wouldn't be necessarily all that bad. That being said, past that as well, your big thing is just focus on staying, relatively competitive from a pricing standpoint. Do regular dynamic pricing. Once a month, we have an entire kind of lesson on that. Do 50%, 30%, whatever you can handle, to do some like regular BSR drops, keep your competitors on their toes, things like that. But overall, for the newer product, it's kind of the exact opposite. You want to have, essentially 2 targets for every 1 negative keyword. You want to be overextending yourself on, paid versus organic right now, and then move into a more organic section when it comes to your keyword targeting. And then from there as well, I would just look at essentially consistent updates on the new product. Let's see. Rosina, my brand is brand registry enrolled in the Amazon UK. Cool. I sell the same product on Amazon Australia. Do I need to enroll in brand registry for Australia too? Or do I get brand registry benefits automatically out? Yes. So you can have technically a trademark in one country and utilize that trademark cross brand registry. That should, in theory, be fine most of the time. There are situations I have seen where Amazon gets a little fancy with it, but it should be no issue to say, oh, I have a UK trademark or I have a US trademark, so on and so forth. So it should still be able to be utilized in that capacity. Kiefer Winnings, I think. I have a meltable product that can't be sent to FBA during the summer months. Yep. However, resellers are still sending an FBA and winning buy box with Prime. Can I report them? You can purchase their product, wait to see if it arrives melted, and then report them for selling a meltable product or shipping it via FBA. But you can't just specifically report them for it being meltable. The big thing is you don't know how they're packaging it, right? So for all you know, they are packaging it in a thermal bag of some kind that keeps heat out, or I don't know. There's a variety of things. If they are not getting dinged by Amazon for the product itself being meltable, right, and they are not worried about the product or the returns from melted units or anything like that, then the question I would say there is, what's actually the issue? The big thing behind Amazon's meltable thing is to, 1, prevent returns, 2, prevent messes within Amazon's own warehouse of some kind, and then on top of that, it's to help you. If people want to take the risk of sending their meltable units to FBA during the summer months, they can take that risk. And unfortunately, as another seller, especially if you're a reseller, there's not a lot you can do in that capacity. What I would probably do is either look at taking the gamble or, like I said, buy the product from them and then report them if it's melted. Simple as that. Marvin, hello, sir. I know I would like to provide a customer with more data for analysis. So far, the customer has only been informed about basic information such as advertising expenditure, revenue, and tacos. Let's see. This is enough for the customer, but I would like to provide the customer with more detailed analysis myself. However, it has to be said that the customer has 50 SKUs across several products. Okay. And this is on 5 different marketplaces. 1 marketplace and 2 products are the main sellers. So, so to speak, the 20% that make 8% of sales. Oh, okay. I was able to achieve great success through listing optimization and PPC, but I have to say that the numbers and data are not my strong points. A basic optimization according to a cost and the inclusion of tacos works perfectly. I also understand CTR and CVR, but I have a hard time with more. I have a feeling that it's too much. I don't have a clear overview, but want to do more. Can you help give me a little instruction on what I should focus on and what data I should provide to the customer? Whew. 7 different points, Marvin. I appreciate all of the background information you gave there. It's very helpful. So, getting data for seller accounts. What is best practice? Where do you go? I have a few tips on this. So first and foremost, I am always going to recommend, above all else, we are partnered with them, Merchant Spring. We use their software for everything. Merchant Spring software is great. They give amazing, amazing reports. If you are interested, you can actually go to our third-party services page. I'll have one of the people in the background put a little link either in the chat or like on the screen right now, but just myamazonguy.com/recommended third-party services. And we have essentially Merchant Spring right here. You could sign up, use them. They are great. I love Merchant Spring. I also have seen Seller Board is a bit of a cheaper option compared to Merchant Spring. Seller Board's great. Check out Seller Board as well. That might be more up your alley, Marvin, as far as what you're trying to do here and what you're trying to provide. So one of these two, give them a little test, give them a little look. Outside of that, one of the things that we do as well here is internal tracking. So let me see if I can just kind of pull up what that looks like. I don't know, from just a random perspective real quick. So for instance, we have essentially weekly reporting that we do where we track some key metrics. So the key metrics that we're actually looking at here, Marvin, if I share my screen, would be like this. So we look at a few primary key metrics. So we look specifically at like revenue, ad spend, ad revenue, a cost, tacos. Why do we look at those? Because those are essentially the 5 that we have found are most important for most clients. We essentially go on a regular weekly basis, weekly cadence with them, show them that. And on top of that, we supplement these numbers with Merchant Spring and Merchant Spring pulling all of it. So we pull both in from Amazon ourselves, and then on top of that, we use Merchant Spring to essentially give a weekly report that also goes over traffic and conversion. A big thing internal for us, for like brand managers, is that we make sure brand managers look over every single one of the Merchant Spring reports every single week. They go through it for every single one of their clients, and then they give a recap to the client of what we're doing next to kind of talk about and also explain it to the client a little bit. Hey, here's the cause for this. We implemented X strategy, and here's the cause. So that's probably what I would do here. Marvin, I mean, that's the best thing is you're going to need a software if you really want to get nitty and gritty with it. Again, we still do that internal tracking, but it's only those 5 metrics. Merchant Spring, you can get a ton of metrics. If I just go, and I can actually probably just pull up a random report right now. Let me see, just so you can get an idea of what it looks like. Yeah, this will be fine, I think. Yeah, I'll show you this real quick. So this is like what we get here, Marvin, where you can just see like essentially all of the data. It'll come in real time for everything. It even gives like profit loss, essentially. So Merchant Spring is a great software. Do not sleep on it. Definitely something to check out if you need some form of software or reporting for your clients. Let's see. Marnie, on product targeting on competitors, how do we appear on their page? When the consumer search their product or when the consumer are on their page and we are below their page. Do ASIN targeting and then have your placement be for product pages. So specifically, or you can do keyword targeting to be fair, but specifically what you're kind of talking about, do ASIN targeting. So target specific ASINs, not keywords, and then have the placement of the campaign have a multiplier specifically for product pages. So let's say you want your bid to be $1, do 100%, and then boom, now you are placing directly on the actual ASIN product pages. That's the easiest way I can possibly explain that. Let's see. If you have a newly launched campaign, how long does it take to see the results the fast way? How much money do you have to spend and blow, I should say? That's really what it comes down to, Marnie, is, what's your budget? There are people that start on Amazon with a $500 and they can get some movement, but really not much for months upon months upon months. There are other people who say, I'll spend $20,000 on ads in my first month if it means I get sales. And they do. And it works amazingly. So really comes down to, what is your budget? How much can you really be trying to spend there? And do you have good keyword targeting? So on average, you should see some form of result, at least a sale within your first week of advertising. If you're not, that's a problem. Probably have wrong keyword targets or not spending enough. Noman, can I get a provisional patent for a year? Protect my product for a year, taking down the listings with it. Okay. Then after the year, decide not to get the patent, still keep my listing up and running. I gotta be honest with you, Noman. I'm not 100% positive on this one. This might be one of those send a message podcast to myamazonguy.com. I want to say the answer is yes. Technically you can, but you're not going to have an easy time taking down listings with a provisional patent, especially if it's one that your patent doesn't actually, you're not actually going to get the patent. So taking listings down with a provisional patent, I think, is the bad part of your overall strategy here, because the reality is you're not going to get listings taken down if you only have provisional. You need to have the actual patent for it. I just know this from the fact that we've tried in the past, and Amazon typically says, hey, sorry, it's not the same as like having a pending trademark. Even pending trademark is better, just from the aspect of technically it is pending, but provisional patent is type thing where it's much different. Usually takes a lot longer too. Jonathan, what are Amazon product insert card rules? Ooh, it's a good one. I don't know the specific rules off the top of my head. What I do know is, do not ask for a positive review. Do not tell them to do something else or give something in exchange for a positive review. You can ask them for a review, but you cannot give them anything for that review, and especially not ask for a positive review. Can you have a link to your own website? Yes, you can. Can you say that they have to sign up for something for a warranty? Technically, yes, it's a gray area. They don't talk about it, but I wouldn't necessarily do it. Can you have a support email on there? Yes, you can. Those are essentially the basics. The big thing at the end of the day is there's not actually a lot around product inserts. The big one is just the review thing. Don't offer anything in exchange for a review. You can ask for a review. Don't say positive, negative, 1 star, 5 star. Don't say any of that. Literally just say, will you write us a review? That's all. And then, yeah, that's about it. That's again, the big thing there, Jonathan. Let's see. The name that I want to trademark is not in USPTO, but people are already using it. Can I still trademark it even if other people using it in another category than I am? Should I trademark it with a picture of my logo, guarantee my trademark? You can go for the trademark. The thing around trademarks, though, is that the way that they're kind of determined is, if it's too general, or there's already a lot of companies that have that like same name or a similar in vein name to it, it makes it a lot harder to get the actual trademark. So I worked with a client years ago where they couldn't get the trademark on their brand because it was something like something puppy biscuits, right? And the fact that they had puppy biscuits made it way too generalized because there were so many other puppy biscuits companies out there that even with the name of their company, Puppy Biscuits, they couldn't get that trademark. So that's the only thing I would say there, Noman, is to kind of watch out for that. Wickedly Inked. Hi again. So, based on my last question I asked a week ago, deleted and will relist today, I saved the ASIN I'm going to use upload. Will I be able to use the same ASIN I have this product in Fulfillment Center? Yeah. So, if you deleted and relisted, that's fine. Yeah. So, a delete relist of an ASIN is fine. You just are always going to be able to use that ASIN. Deleting it is specifically deleting it out of your catalog. It's not deleting it from, um, the actual Amazon catalog, I should say. How can we change an ASIN UPC if the UPC was used for another ASIN on Amazon catalog? Basically, we have an old ASIN and we want to change its UPC from GS1, but the UPC was used on another product. So you want to change it from GS1 to a new UPC. I wouldn't change away from, maybe I'm reading this wrong, but I wouldn't change away from GS1 at all just because Amazon is linked to GS1. I actually put a video out yesterday on this. Specifically, don't change away from GS1. You want everything to be GS1. Now, if you're asking how to change a UPC to GS1, essentially what you need to do is you need to create a new listing with or a new ASIN with that GS1 UPC, and then you need to do a merge of the ASINs, but keep the GS1 UPC. You don't want any other attributes or anything to be changed, but you do want the UPC. So you need to create a new listing and then do a merge of those to get that GS1. This was correct to parent-child issue I was having. Okay, not being able to list child. Am worried about the product floating around attached to FC. No, so you can reattach it fairly easily. You'll have to work with seller support more than likely, but no, the ASIN itself does not go away from Amazon. That stays, for essentially eternity on Amazon. Can I put brand names on alt text and generic keywords? Bullets and description, maybe. What if the brand name product isn't being sold on Amazon? Is it your brand name? Do you own the brand registry and the rights to the brand? If the answer to that question is no, then do not put it on your listing anywhere because you are risking getting IP infringement claims. It's as simple as that. The only time you should use another person's brand name on your actual listing, whether it's alt text, whether it's anything, is if you have the idea of compatible with in front of those words or in front of that brand name. If your product is, let's say, I don't know, I don't have anything on my desk this week that would work. If your product is something that will work with another product and another brand, as long as you put compatible with and then that brand name, you should be fine. Otherwise, don't throw somebody else's brand name in there. You're just asking to get IP infringement claims. Even if the person isn't selling on Amazon, you don't know that they don't have a brand registry or a company that watches for that kind of stuff, Secondarily to that, it's just a poor use of keywords. There's no relevancy claim there. Why would somebody be searching for that brand name and then come across, yes, it is from a keyword perspective somewhat smart, but you're not going to rank very well on that keyword. It's not going to, you might start ranking somewhat if you're extremely competitive with that brand or if people consistently buy your product off of that branding. But again, it's just not the smartest, unless, like I said, it's direct competitor. And then if they're not on Amazon, what's even the point? Because people aren't probably searching for them. If Amazon does catch me, can my listing be completely banned or just ask me to change it? Depends on how many times. And depends on how bad it is. It can be completely banned. So it can more often than not just need to be changed. Rosina, Amazon marked customer returned product as customer damaged and put it in unfulfillable inventory. Amazon wants me to create manual removal order. Unfair. Should I not get paid by Amazon? How to claim? So Amazon will reimburse you. I think it's like 10 to 15% of the actual sale price of the product. Customer damage is iffy. It's one of those things. They will reimburse you. It usually will just come through. You can actually get all your reimbursements through your just get a report of them through your fulfillment reports. That's where I would check for it. Is just check your fulfillment reports and check for the reimbursements category under them, and then from there, you should be able to see it for any that you got reimbursements on. Secondarily to that, how do you claim it? That it should be automatic. It's not something you really claim. Again, it's only 10 to 15% usually of the actual sale price of the product, which is kind of lame, but at least it's something. How to rank organically on Amazon? That's a great question that we can talk about for hours. To be fair, the best way to probably rank on Amazon is just have proper keyword usage. So something you should actually go check out, and let me see if I can just have it linked directly into the chat here. I can't find it, unfortunately. I'll find it later, and I'll link it in the chat and whatnot. But essentially, we have a video that kind of talks exactly about this that we just put out. But the idea behind ranking organically comes down to your keywords. So you want to use a software like Helium 10 to look at your competitor keywords, figure out where your competitors are, and then you want to add those keywords to your title, your bullet points, your description. If you have A+ content, you want to have crawlable text and alt text in there as well. So those are the first places that you need to be looking at when you're trying to rank organically. Now, what you need to do is make sure that you have relevancy here. So do not just choose any old keyword because you see it has a 5 million search volume or something like that. It needs to be relevant to your product. Secondly, you want to make sure your title has your most important keywords for the product as a descriptor, first 5 keywords in it. And then the rest, the middle chunk, that's just going to be essentially extra description with extra keywords that usually have a low search volume below, I would say, 3,000 to try and add some extra, ranking in there. It's very difficult to just rank organically without PPC. It's not impossible, but it's just very difficult. Usually you have to be working off of a pricing game primarily, but like I said, not impossible in the slightest. Just takes time, a lot of time, a lot of effort. And what you'll want to do is essentially monthly change out your keywords. So you want to use Helium again for something like indexing, see what you're actually indexing for, and then what you're also ranking for. And then change out your keywords regularly and your back-end keywords as well in search terms for different ones that you think will help and add to your overall indexing and ranking of your product. Does newly launched PPC campaigns usually work right away, 1 or 2 days? Or there are instances where it takes warming up and may take days to finally work. Technically, PPC campaigns have like a warm-up period. That's absolutely true to an extent. The big thing there is, what's the best way to put this? PPC campaigns have history. They work better the more history that they have. History means you get more things like search terms and more negative targeting and keywords that can be utilized. So when you're looking and thinking about how a campaign is working, you can, yes, go 1 to 2 days when you first start a campaign without any data whatsoever. That being said, if you don't see any impressions, if you don't see anything whatsoever happening, I wouldn't let that sit for more than 48 hours. 24, absolutely. You want it to sit there. You want it to do things. 48 is like the time frame where I would be looking at, okay, let's make our first bid optimization. Maybe we're not spending enough. Maybe our budget's too low. Things like that are where you need to start looking, see if it makes sense to make some changes after around 48 hours. But 1 to 2 days, I'm not going to worry that much, especially if it's a brand new campaign, brand new keywords you're trying out. Here's a rephrased version. Hold on, something share with me, rephrased version. I can't click URLs, unfortunately, Samil. Maybe I can try and type it in at some point here shortly. Give me a minute, and I'll have that put in a chat or something. I can copy and paste it. Let's see. I have 2 USPO trademarks for a brand in EU UK brand registry. That brand is not in my US brand registry. How do I get those trademarks to show in US brand registry? You have to go through the brand registry process in the US. It's fine to use EU UK trademark for that process, but you still have to go through it. So you have to essentially make sure the accounts are linked first and foremost, and then you have to make sure that your brand registry is linked over to the US as well. Again, we talked about this earlier. Technically, yes, you can use trademarks, but the reality is I would also look at just getting the trademark in the US. Now it's a very similar process, and it's probably good to, if you're going to be selling in the US, to have your own trademark there as well. Trademarks are fairly, international, but they technically should be registered in different international countries and whatnot. So we have an entire, I think, page talking about trademarks on our website. If you head on over there, myamazonguy.com, we have an entire page on it. We do it as a service, not my department, but I know enough to kind of give you the basics rundown of it. Let me get some more water here, guys. The most boring 10-15 seconds of the show when I'm just sitting here drinking water. Rosina, Amazon inactive my supplement listing for product listing violation. Account health suggests to remove words like supports and helps. Should I dispute this, or is my only option is to comply? Yeah. You do not want to have supports and helps and then like some form of medical claim. That's usually that is a big no-no. I would not do that. What I like to do instead, supports is a bit weird. Supports is a bit weird. It's usually has to do with the medical claim itself, not the fact that you're saying supports or helps. What I would do is change that around to something that is very similar. It doesn't have to be sports. I'm trying to think what the exact verbiage that I would probably use here is, but it would be something along the lines of similar how I was saying compatible with earlier. You should say something like can potentially support, or can support, or has been shown to support. Has been shown to is kind of like the key phrase there. That's probably the one that I would use because you can't directly just make the claim that it does something. That's usually a big no-no on Amazon, but you can make the claim of has been shown to if you have that evidence behind it and can kind of back that up. That usually is the best way to go about it. Politics. Oh no. Amazon brand video versus display video. Which to choose and when? Are you talking about specifically like advertising? So video advertising on Amazon is, I mean, it's different. It's just the two things you're talking about are just completely different things. I'm personally just going to be more of a fan of typically brand video, just because, I guess display has its purpose as well. I'm just not a huge fan of either. If I had to be entirely honest, they seem like the effort level to actual what you get out of them has never really seemed worth it, in my opinion. Sponsored product is just going to reign supreme. I mean, I guess if you have, good brand presence and you have a large budget and you're not too afraid and you're more just looking at kind of overtaking some brand and some market share, I guess. But to be honest, between the two of them, again, brand video probably more so. Display video is fine. It really depends on what you're trying to do. Display video is going to be more instructional, more informational. Brand video is going to be much more about the actual brand. It's going to be shorter, things like that. Marnie, can I upload video on my product page with my buyer account, or does it have to be from a verified purchase? One, yeah, probably a verified purchase. Two, Amazon definitely knows your buyer account, and so I wouldn't add any reviews whatsoever onto onto your listing from your own buyer account, just because that technically is against Amazon policy and could get you taken down. So, I would, you can do it from a different account, but yeah, it should be a verified purchase if you're going to go about that. Oh, Business Cat is back. Hey there. Nowadays, people are taking CTR so much more serious, which helped to increase clicks. So, do you think lowering PPC bid will make any difference? Yeah, I love CTR. You guys probably seen me talk a million things about it. I know Steven loves it. He's put like 4 or 5 videos out in the last like couple of weeks on it. Anyways, lowering PPC bid will make any difference for CTR? Technically, no. So the CTR is targeted at 2 different areas. It is targeted at design and your title, but 99% of it's design. So when you look at CTR, you're thinking about your main image. Think about when you are scrolling on your phone or just on Amazon. What is the first thing that people are going to see? They're going to see, one, the image that you have for your main image, and then 2, the first 5 words of your title. Those are the 2 things that are going to like increase your CTR tenfold. Make sure you have them as best possible. Now, what also helps with that, I guess, from a PPC perspective, I would say placement on the page for the product. You're more likely, but that's not even really still CTR at that point. I guess it kind of is, but mostly CTR is going to be listing facing more than it is back end advertising facing. If that makes sense. Burn. Thanks, Noah. A video on the premium A plus content problem would be great. I've asked Seller Sport so many times. They're just saying, wait until next Friday for the enrollment. Let me do that. Let me just make quick note for you. Their burn that I will add it to my content calendar for a video at some point. Premium A plus content enrollment. Cool. Let's see. Also, do I have to upload it on every variation? Because I see some videos only upload on specific variation. Yeah, so reviews are going to show specifically for the product that people purchase them. Technically, reviews are merged all together. So I would be questioning whether or not your reviews are merged. And then secondarily for videos, video reviews usually show up on the actual child than they do on the actual parent. You can see them a lot of times on other children. But it really just depends on how the reviews are merged and how well they're merged. Let's see. I created a semantic market segmentation file. Okay. For Amazon product research. And I'm willing to share how I made it. Oh, okay. If that's the link you have, Smil, sure. Yeah, I'll check it out a little bit later today. Absolutely. Rosina, would it be against Amazon policy if my product inserts offer a free membership to my otherwise paid online portal for product related activity? Portal is outside of AMZ website. Technically, no. So that falls very much in line, Rosina, with like, for instance, let's actually do this. Let's do subscription required. So something very similar to that, and you can kind of look at would be specifically this. So if we look at like, I'm just typing in subscription required, all these different GPS trackers, right? That's very similar. So like this one is no subscription required, no monthly fee, but it has an app. So that what you're kind of talking about is very similar to that. And I would actually even use it as a selling point that you have that, online portal. You can use it exactly like this, how GPS trackers do. It's very similar. I made a video you should check out on our channel, talking about selling apps essentially on Amazon. It's super cool and a super unique thing that not a lot of people do, but still really cool either way. All right, let's see. Our butts. Hello, how can we change in ASIN UPC if the UPC was used for another ASIN on Amazon catalog? Basically, we have an old ASIN and we want to change it. Oh, I think I already answered this question earlier. So again, if you have a GS1 UPC, keep it GS1 because all other UPCs are void on Amazon and shouldn't be used. If you're trying to change it to GS1, again, just new ASIN, merge into the old ASIN, keep UPC that you want to keep, and you should be good to go. Business Cat, sponsored product versus sponsor brand. Which one makes more clicks and which one increases the sales most? Sponsored products. I don't even have to second guess that. First tick, sponsored product. Sponsor brand is great. It's great. I'm sure it's great. And it has its uses. It's great for some market share. It's great for some brand recognition. If you want to sell your product, sponsor product. It's just that simple. If you put out a poll to advertisers, Amazon advertisers out there, and 10,000 answer of which one do you use most, sponsor product, sponsor brand, sponsor display, it's going to be like 80-95% sponsored product, I would guess, if people answering that way. Let's see. Samil, can Pakistani apply for Amazon brand manager position at MAG? I don't believe so. I'm not positive. I think you can still apply. I don't know if we have HR set up for that, but definitely still apply, Samil. One of our people from HR will reach out. But I don't know if we have it set up to where we're able to hire people from Pakistan right now or not. Because I know there's a lot of legal entity nonsense and whatnot that I don't know about that you have to set up for that. Business Cat, do you think Vine program is worth it? If yes, then how much should we get? So Vine program, talked about this a lot, but essentially if your product is something that could have a lot of personal preference to it, no, do not send it to Vine. So if you are selling a supplement, definitely do not send it to Vine. Imagine this scenario. Someone takes, I still don't have anything on my desk for this. Someone takes your supplement and they immediately go to write a review 16 minutes later, and they're like, I don't feel anything yet. Of course you don't. It's going to take weeks of buildup for you to start to feel the effect of the supplement. So supplements, definitely no. Any type of food product or consumable, really, no go. You got to imagine that everyone's going to have a personal preference there. They are not incentivized to write you 5-star reviews. There is zero reason someone on the Vine program has any reason really to write you a 5-star review outside of what they actually think the product. So keep that in mind. I think it's good for some products. We've gotten a lot of great use. We have, a client we work with, you can check them out. They sell foam rollers, right? We used them we did Vine program for them. Fantastic reviews. And it's because they have a great product. If you have a great product and it's something that is pretty versatile to use, it doesn't require too much instruction. It doesn't require somebody to do a ton of upkeep or anything. And it's not something that really can have like a personal subjectiveness to it. Go for it. Vine's great. Cost wise, just depends to you. I like doing 30 units if I can, just because it's great to get 30 reviews right off the bat for a product. I still remember the help you gave me to recover my account when support couldn't fix it. I got you. I'm all about it. No problem. Let's see. Hi, Noah. I have a product with 2 color variations. For Vine purposes, they're currently listed as a parent listing. I want to merge them in order to have 2 variations, but the BSR of one listing is much lower than the other. When merging the 2 listings, should I choose the one with the lowest BSR with the other, or the opposite, or is the order irrelevant? I would choose the one that you want to keep the most amount of data on, and that is correct. So you're going to have some merge there where it says essentially going to have some overlap, right, in what actually happens. Definitely choose the one with the lower BSR, if you can, as your primary. But the thing you have to remember there is that, let's say the UPC is wrong there, or it has less reviews, or anything in between, you can run into major issues where you lose that kind of data from the prior listing. So keep that in mind when you're doing it. But absolutely, I see no issue with the way that you've kind of set it up there. More water. Oh, all right. Marnie, when do you qualify for deals? Lightning deals, Black Friday, Cyber deals. I just launched 3 weeks ago and kept checking if my product is eligible. Probably not going to be eligible. It's going to take a while for you to be eligible. Not every account gets eligibility. Keep checking. You can also ask for eligibility from seller support, but it doesn't really help much. I'm not positive. I think there's actually nowadays, I can check, but there might be a specific threshold. Doesn't seem like it. I can't see. Yeah, I don't see a specific threshold. If you want to send the question in there, Marnie, to podcastmyamazonguy.com, I'll do some digging on deals to make sure. I can't remember, though, if there's a specific threshold you have to meet. That's the one thing. I can't. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything right off the bat, though, for eligibility. Professional 4. You have to 4.0 stars, upgrading professional plan, product eligibility. 65% variation should include the deal. Okay, 4 stars. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Have 4 stars, have a decent return rate. It doesn't say anything about time of how long you have to be on the platform or selling. So unfortunately, I'll do some more digging here, but the biggest thing is just keep checking. Usually newer sellers aren't going to have access, especially because you need those reviews to be able to get access over there. Is the UK still competitive for private label? Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't be. I mean, you're always going to be competitive in some capacity for private label, right? You're going to have, brands constantly on the platform. The private label is, what 99% of all brands on the planet are. So yeah. Marnie, thanks so much for this awesome free Q&A. Not a problem. Always happy to do this, guys. It's always great doing this. I love doing every single Friday. I will actually not be here next Friday or the week after. I do have some replacements coming. It's not Shane and Ben again. This time will be Zach and John. So they will be hopping in for me, answering over the next 2 weeks while I am gone again. But I will be here the week after that again. Politics. Amazon brand video versus display video. I think I already answered this one. Can I invite my other seller account email that I'm not admin on to another one? So I flicked back and forth. Yes, technically. I'm not a huge fan of adding like the admin or the owner of a seller account to another one. I would always just create a secondary email. Just create one email for both seller accounts. If you have 2 seller accounts, make it an admin on both of the seller accounts, and then boom, there you go. You have one email that you can use for all of your seller accounts. So what we do, it's called a drone account. It's pretty easy to do. If I relist my product with the SKU, will the SKU be changed? What will happen to the existing inventory? If you're talking about like a delete relist, you can change the SKU if you want to. I wouldn't. You shouldn't, I should say, for the most part. For delete relists, yeah, the ASIN should stay the same. Everything should stay the same. If you're actually creating a new ASIN, then yes, because inventory is tied directly to ASINs, not to SKUs, not to UPCs, but specifically to the ASIN. Unless you have, I should say, barcode list, in which case the UPC, but ASIN and UPC are tied together. So no, your SKU shouldn't be changed. That's just your backend coding. Rosina, just 10 to 15% on customer damage returns. Kind of hard to swallow. I know. Customer buys my good product, damages and gets full refund. I only get 15%. Yeah, I know. It's a bit ridiculous, but it's part of the thing of selling on Amazon. It's what made them pop off so much, is that you can have 30 days for your returns, no matter what. All right. Hi, Noah. I was wondering if you know someone who sells on US from EU, what to do in order to do that. If you can do it with France firm or need to create US firm. Yeah, no, you can sell on the US from the EU. That's fine. I mean, we have tons of clients that do it. The big thing again is just when setting up your account on the US, just link it. You can also just do it through Sell Globally on your current EU account. Shouldn't be an issue. Amazon will ask you for some specific information as a foreign seller on the US platform, but yeah, no issues whatsoever. Justina, should I always attempt to fill in all 200 characters in my product titles? The product is ringing higher in the category. Does it make sense to use shorter title to boost conversion? If you have good brand recognition and you are getting very, very consistent sales, then you can have a shorter title. Otherwise, there's no point in it. So the point of having a longer title or a shorter title, like a longer title, the reason to use all 200 characters, because you want to continue indexing. You want to continue ranking on everything you can. And that title is a huge, huge aspect of that. If you have a product that, I have talked about this before, if you sell Dove bar soap, the reason Dove bar soap has like a 5 to 6 word title is because they are Dove bar soap. They have been around for, I don't know, 200 years or something. And they have, world domination when it comes to bar soaps. Everyone knows who they are. So they don't need to worry so much when they are getting, 30,000 plus units sold on Amazon every single month. That's why they are able to have a short title. But the reality is, if you don't sell a crap ton of units, you don't have brand recognition, absolutely make use of all 200 characters. Wickedly Inked, thanks for the response. I'll use the same ASIN. I had Amazon assigned SKU. Will I be able to change that back to my internal SKU? Yep, that should be fine. If you're talking about like FN SKU, Amazon keeps that FN SKU. But your own internally assigned SKU, that's fine. Yeah, change that. If running same keywords on same match type with different bidding strategy in different campaigns, then what should be behavior of cost per click? Running same keywords and same match type with different bidding strategy in different campaigns, then what should be behavior of cost per click? You're going to see your cost per click change. If you are running the exact same campaign in 2 different places, you are going with the same exact product, everything, same exact everything. Yeah, you're going to see it change a little bit. Is it going to be a direct competition like it would be with a competitor? Technically, no, but you probably are going to be in some capacity, going against yourself, I suppose. It's just what capacity. Amazon doesn't really reveal that. I've noticed numerous sellers uploading lifestyle images as their main image on Amazon. Have you also noticed it on Amazon, and what are your thoughts on this topic? Amazon used to suspend such listings in the past, but it seems the situation has changed. Depends on the category. If you are selling something like clothing, it's a lot easier to upload a lifestyle image of someone wearing it. That being said, it's still technically yes is against it. Amazon has been making a lot of changes with their AI algorithm that kind of does a lot of the listing check stuff lately. I would not be surprised if here shortly they even have the ability to read text on images with their AI. So I'm staying as close as possible to it. I still like the main image CTR hacks that we do, but that being said, not going to go that bold with lifestyle images just yet. It is something to look at though. For category specific, might make sense, but by and large, usually you'll get dinged at some point in time. TikTok shop versus Amazon. Amazon. My competitors start their titles, brand name, number of pieces. Should I be doing what is best for SEO and put this at the end, or because it's a kit product, having pieces at the front is important to the customer? So I'll tell you this. If you have any search volume on your brand name, you can have that at the front. If you don't have any search volume, have it at the back. Number of pieces you can put either at the front or the back. It depends on what you want them to see first and how many keywords you want in that 5. If pieces is very specific to the product, put it in your first 5 keywords. If brand name is very specific to the product, put it in the first 5. But if you don't have any search volume on your brand name, don't worry about having it at the front of your title whatsoever. Let's see. Can I guarantee a trademark if it's an image of a word and a logo? Does the logo not matter for me to actually get the trademark? Logo doesn't matter too much. Trademark is specific to being able to trade. I mean, you can trademark a logo, but you are trademarking essentially the name for that logo. So that's how trademarks work. What I think you're also talking about here in Nomen is more close to a copyright than it is a trademark. What if I choose to do FBM instead of FBA? Having the facility of my own warehouse in USA, how much can affect the sales or traffic? Is it viable for launching a product in 2024 where top 10 sellers are doing FBA? So if you want to do FBM, do FBM. I'm fine with FBM. You are missing out on some potential conversion factors just from the aspect of not having that little Prime logo on your listing. But from the idea of actually doing FBM, absolutely. If you want to do it, it makes more sense for your product and your profit margins, do FBM. But you are going to have an easier time selling FBA than you are FBM. Let's see. If you sell a product that has several different versions, like you say, sell action figures, and some are animals, some are people, some are vehicles. Should you have a UPIN number? UPIN number. What is a UPIN number for each product? Are you talking about like a UPC? Yes. If you have different versions, different anything, you need a UPC for everything. Even if you have like a 6-pack version of your product and it's just 6 of the same identical little ball 6 times, have that 6-pack have its own UPC. Makes your life so much easier in the long run to just do it that way. Any time, even if the single product has its own UPC and then the 6-pack has its own, it's just so much easier. So all variations just own UPC. It's been great to be here. Lots of value. Thank you, Magno. Not a problem, Rosina. Happy to be here. Happy to do these. We are going to call it here in just a couple of minutes here, guys. Let's see. I have a new product, which is almost a month old. I am spending on PPC and getting ranking for keywords, but have very low sales for them. Do you think it's a good idea to spend more for these keywords with no sales? Depends on what your cost per click is. Are you getting any clicks? Are you getting any impressions on those keywords? If you have great, you're spending, you have great rankings on the keywords, but low sales, I would be looking at what your search volume is. Like, how much search volume do you actually have on those keywords? The big thing when you're looking at advertising and what keywords to choose is search volume. I can launch a product next week and choose a keyword that has, search volume of, 10, and rank number 1 on that product within, a month or 2, right? Just from the aspect of spending a ton on that keyword. But that's the thing. You have to have that search volume for it to mean anything. That means you have to somehow capture 1 of 10 sales or something, right? The big thing you need to be looking for there is adding some keywords that you can also have a lot of search volume for. So typically look in the realm of 2,000 to 4,000 search volume per month. That's going to be a good metric for you to kind of stick around. Marnie, some Vine reviewers are stupid. Be aware. Yeah, absolutely. If you have several products on Amazon, each with their own UPIN number, are you still able? I think you mean UPC still. Are you still able to sell them on the same page as variations and bundle them? Yes. Yes, you are. That's actually how you have to have it set up. Another question, Noah. Yeah, of course. Have my brother making a V2 listing product in a new seller account. He has hard time to transfer customer to V2 because of Amazon recommendation with V1. What to do? You need to get the V2 to stand on its own and stop selling the V1. That's the reality of it. I would also parent them together, the V1 and the V2, as different variations on the same listing. People will then go to the V1 because it has history, see that there is a upgraded V2 version, and then purchase hopefully that V2 and slowly phase out that V1 for the V2 variation on that listing. that's your best bet there. It's a little weird to do it on a different seller account, but really that's kind of how you have to go about it. Let's see. If you have several products on Amazon, each with their own GTIN number, are you still able to sell them on the same page as variations and bundle them? Oh, GTI. Yeah, it's same thing. Same thing there. Yes, you absolutely can. And then last thing we have here is Mr. Brandon Rufflyers. Howdy. How's it going, sir? Glad to see you. All right. We're going to call it there. It doesn't look like we have anything else, any question wise. So wrapping up here real quick, guys. Again, my name is Noah Wickham. I'm brand director here at My Amazon Guy. For those of you that do not know what My Amazon Guy is, we are a Amazon agency, full service. We do essentially everything A to Z. You can check out our services on our main website here as well. We do advertising, search term optimization, design, everything in between. Tons and tons of troubleshooting as well. Past that, you can also, if you want to, buy all of our SOPs and our playbook. Absolutely something you can do. We sell them. It's great source of knowledge, I should say. Past that, if you want to have a job, go to our website and check us out. We have internships that are paid for every single one of our roles, pretty much. We will train you if you have even zero knowledge, A to Z, everything. Go apply. We absolutely are always hiring people. And then past that as well, we have coaching. If you ever just want to do something like this, but just, with one of us, feel free to. This guy is the guy who will be doing the live next week. So be looking forward to that. Past that, again, check us out on LinkedIn. Just My Amazon Guy on LinkedIn. Check me out on LinkedIn. Just Noah Wickham. I post content every single day. And past that, hope everyone has a fantastic weekend and fantastic week. Thanks.